Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're re-exploring one of the most fundamental teachings in all of Buddhism, the three marks of existence, or tilakkhana in Pali. These three characteristics, permanence, suffering, and non-self, are what the Buddha said define all conditioned phenomena in existence. Understanding these isn't just philosophical. The Buddha taught that deeply realizing these truths is the path to liberation itself. The Buddha didn't present these as beliefs to accept on faith. In the early scriptures, particularly the Pali Canon, he repeatedly urged his followers to investigate and see these marks directly in their own experience. In fact, the Buddha states that whether Buddhas arise or not, this principle remains. It's the natural law of existence. The three marks are interconnected, each supporting and illuminating the others. Let's explore each one, staying true to what the Buddha actually taught. First, anicca impermanence. The Buddha taught that all conditioned things are impermanent, constantly arising and passing away. Nothing stays the same, not even for a moment. In the Sutta Nikaya, there's a powerful passage where the Buddha says, all formations are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one becomes dispassionate towards suffering. But the Buddha wasn't being pessimistic. He was pointing to something we can directly observe. Our bodies change, cells die and regenerate. We age, we get sick, we heal. Our thoughts and emotions are fleeting. Anger arises and passes. Joy comes and goes. Even mountains erode. Stars eventually burn out, and galaxies themselves are not permanent. The Buddha used vivid analogies. In the Dhammapada, he compares life to a bubble on water, to foam, to a mirage. These aren't meant to depress us, but to help us see reality clearly. Why does this matter? Because we habitually cling to things as if they were permanent. We grasp at relationships, possessions, our own bodies, our identities, trying to freeze them in time. But because everything changes, this clinging inevitably leads to disappointment and pain. The Buddha taught that understanding impermanence isn't about becoming detached from life, but about relating to it wisely. When we accept impermanence, we can appreciate the preciousness of each moment without desperately trying to make it last forever. This brings us to dukkha, translated as suffering, but more accurately understood as unsatisfactoriness or stress. This is the second mark of existence. The Buddha's teaching on dukkha is more nuanced than many realize. He identified three types in the scriptures. First, dukkha, ordinary suffering, pain, sickness, death, separation from loved ones, encountering what we dislike. Second, viparinama dukkha, the suffering of change. Even pleasant experiences are dukkha, because they're impermanent and will end, leaving us wanting more. And third, the most subtle, sankhara dukkha, the suffering inherent in conditioned existence itself. Because everything is impermanent and interdependent, there's an underlying unsatisfactoriness to trying to find lasting fulfillment in anything conditioned. In the famous fire sermon from the Sutta Nikaya, the Buddha declared that everything is burning, burning with the fires of greed, hatred, and delusion, burning with birth, aging, and death. But here is the crucial point. The Buddha taught that all conditioned things are dukkha, precisely because they're impermanent and because we relate to them with craving and clinging. The problem isn't existence itself, it's our relationship to it. The connection between impermanence and dukkha is direct. We suffer because we want permanent happiness from impermanent things. We build our sense of security on shifting sands. Finally, anatta, not self. This might be the Buddha's most radical and distinctive teaching. The Buddha taught that when we examine any aspect of our experience, our body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, or consciousness, we cannot find a permanent, unchanging self within them. These five aggregates, or khandhas, that we identify as me, are all impermanent and subject to change. In his second sermon, the Anatolakkhana Sutta, the Buddha questioned his first five disciples, is form permanent or impermanent? They answered, impermanent, Venerable Sir. And is what is impermanent satisfactory or unsatisfactory? Unsatisfactory, Venerable Sir. And is it fitting to regard what is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and subject to change as this is mine, this I am, this is myself? No, Venerable Sir. The Buddha applied this same analysis to feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. None of them are stable enough to be considered an essential, unchanging self. This doesn't mean we don't exist. The Buddha rejected both eternalism, the view that we have a permanent soul, and nihilism, the view that we don't exist at all. Instead, he taught that what we call self is a process, a constantly changing stream of physical and mental events arising dependent on conditions. Think of a river. We give it a name, the Ganges, the Amazon, but a river isn't a fixed thing. It's water constantly flowing, fed by tributaries evaporating, changing course. Similarly, what we call I is a dynamic process, not a thing. In the scriptures, the Buddha used the analogy of a chariot. Just as a chariot is a collection of parts, wheels, axle, frame with no separate chariot essence, we are a collection of aggregates, with no separate self-essence. These three marks are deeply interconnected. Things are impermanent, so trying to find permanent satisfaction in them leads to suffering. And because everything is impermanent and unsatisfactory, nothing can serve as a fixed, permanent self. The Buddha taught that seeing these three characteristics clearly, not just intellectually, but through direct meditation and contemplation, leads to dispassion, to the fading away of craving, and ultimately to liberation, nibbana. In the Dhammapada, verses 277 to 279, the Buddha summarizes, all formations are impermanent, all formations are unsatisfactory, all phenomena are non-self. When one sees this with wisdom, one becomes dispassionate towards suffering. This is the path to purity. The beauty of these teachings is their practicality. You don't need to believe them, you can investigate them directly in your own life. Watch your breath, observe your thoughts. Notice how everything changes. This isn't depressing, it's liberating. When we stop fighting against the nature of reality, we find peace. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe. In the next video, we'll explore the 5 precepts and how they relate to what we've discussed today. Until then, may you find peace in understanding the true nature of things.